2013, and we continue to roll into the myths and exposing different diet, training, and trainer things that are going on in the fitness industry, bodybuilding world, etc., etc. So today what I want to do is I got an email from a woman asking me a question. I figured that everybody could kind of benefit from what she was asking. So the question was, she had been doing a couple of different diets, and she had heard about a ketogenic diet. Which a ketogenic diet is a moderate to high fat, very low carb, moderate protein diet, similar to something like the Atkins, but it's a little bit different. So now her question for me was, she contacted me through BioS3 and asked me she wanted to know how the diet would affect her, like what she would feel. Because her job, her occupation can't allow her to feel tired or lethargic or anything like that. So she wanted to know, I heard that it makes you feel like this, I heard it makes you feel like that, etc., etc. Now, I was kind of shocked because, I don't know how the diet's going to make you feel. Nobody knows how the diet's going to make you feel. So I figured, well, there might be a lot of people out there that think, well, this trainer or that trainer is going to know, so I'm going to ask them this question. So let me explain to you how it really works. You have different types of body types, different types of people that, crave different type of nutrients. Now, the body only uses 3 nutrients. It uses fats, proteins, and carbohydrates. Those are called the macronutrients. The micronutrients are your vitamins and minerals. So those things have not changed throughout time. The body still uses the same things, and it still produces the same coenzymes, etc., and builds things up to use different nutrients. But different people have different enzymatic systems in their bodies towards burning things like sugar, glycogen, body fat, using protein and make protein synthesis to build muscle. It's an individual thing. So there's no way that myself or any other trainer can know how your body's going to react to a certain diet. Now, can we take an educated guess? We can guess, but even guessing is not going to do us any good. So now what we need to do is we need to figure out, like, let's say right now this girl has been doing moderate carbohydrate. So let's pull the carbs out for a few days, see how she feels. She may feel good, she may not feel good. So then maybe after a few days we put the carbohydrates back in. Now she feels better. Okay, we know now that she responds to a carb cycling type diet. So maybe she doesn't need keto, maybe she just needs a few days of low carbs. Or maybe she feels great when we pull the carbohydrates out. My girlfriend Carrie and myself, when we did the Lehigh Championships a few years ago, we met a guy backstage. This guy was shredded, ripped. I mean, such shape. His skin was thin, and he had so much energy backstage. We're trying to figure out how this guy, if he's been dieting and he looks that ripped, how he can have so much energy. So he goes on to tell us that he hadn't had a carbohydrate in 3 years. 3 years. Not one carb. So, of course, we're like, well, you should be tired. You should be so drained if you haven't had a carb in 3 years. But he said, the fact of the matter was that when he puts the carbs back in his diet, he's tired. His body doesn't process the carbs very well. So enzymatically, his body doesn't make the enzymes to break the carbohydrates down into the sugar. So instead, in his state of ketosis, his body thrives. Now, he never goes into ketoacidosis, which is a bad place to be, which is toxic for your body, because he's active. He's always burning off those ketones. They never have a chance to build up. The pH in his body never changes. He felt phenomenal. So for him, that diet worked great. If I did the same diet, which I've done keto before, I feel awful. Doesn't matter how many calories I take in, how little or a lot of activity I do, I feel awful. So for me, my body obviously is not geared towards burning the ketones for energy. It has an enzymatic system for burning sugar, carbohydrates. And, and some people burn complex carbs better, some people burn fructose better. Some people like to use the MCT oils, which are another form of energy source. It just depends on the person. So when you're thinking about trying a new diet, look up the information yourself, but be aware that, a trainer or a nutritionist or guru or something like that doesn't have the answer as to how your body's going to respond or how you're going to feel or what your results are going to be until you actually go through it. Start the diet. The trainer can get the biofeedback back, and then hopefully the trainer has enough knowledge to know what to do next to make the changes to get you to the next level of your diet. So hopefully this will give you guys a little insight if you didn't know about how the diets and training programs work a little bit. And if you were wondering if there would be something better for you out there, it's an experiment that you're just going to have to try. And hopefully, like I said, you can find someone that can work with you on that.